California's Central Valley is home to the most productive farmland in the world. It's also ground zero for the state's most severe drought in a century. This poses a potentially devastating challenge to farmers who have made long-term investments in lucrative but highly water-dependent crops, like almonds. It takes 1.1 gallons of water to bring a single almond to maturity. Once harvested, California provides 99% of the United States almond consumption and 80% of the world's almond supply. We went to Fresno County to learn how local farmers are coping.
My name is Joe Del Bosque. I farm here in the area of Firebaugh, California, which is west side of the San Joaquin Valley. I grow almonds, asparagus, cherries, and sometimes tomatoes.
How did you end up here in Firebaugh and having this plot of land?
Well, my family was originally from Mexico, immigrated into Imperial Valley in Southern California, where they became farm workers. And then in the early 50s, my father was offered a permanent position here.
Now, how many acres do we have here?
I farm about a total of 2,000 acres.
And how many of those acres are dedicated to almonds?
About a third of that.
What are some of the specific challenges of growing almonds?
Well, there's a lot of challenges with almonds. Of course, the biggest challenge is getting enough water for them.
The specific challenge faced by Central Valley farmers is picking crops that are profitable enough to pay for the rising cost of water.
So we were driving in here today, and we see on this side we have all these beautiful almond trees, and on the other side we have a completely empty field. Why is that field empty now?
Well, that field was supposed to go into tomatoes because we were short of water and my supplies were limited. I had to make a decision of which crops I didn't grow.
You said that one of the big challenges is getting enough water for them. My question is, why not fallow the almonds instead of the tomatoes?
It doesn't make sense to pull out our almonds for tomatoes that aren't planted.
Right. So basically, with the almonds, once you commit to it, it's a long-term investment.
Sure, these almonds are very capital intensive. It takes a lot of money to put them in. It takes about 3 years to start getting some harvest out of them. And we've been aiming at higher valued crops because as we have less and less water, we have to try to concentrate on something that will give us a bigger return.
So to a novice like myself, it looks like you have quite a lot of water here. Can you explain what this is?
Well, this is a canal that actually brings the water from Shasta, comes down through rivers, pumps, canals to us. This water has been in storage all year at San Luis Reservoir. When we start the year, we are allocated X amount of water. Take that and schedule it out through the whole year. As we have less and less water, we're able to produce less and less food. And this is food that is not produced anywhere else in the country. This drought is probably the first one where the whole state is aware. We farmers have been aware of it for years. We have been adapting to this by going to more efficient irrigation systems, conserving water and so forth. Municipal water districts are starting to do the same thing. Now the rest of the state needs to come on board.
Farmers depend on state and federal agencies for their water supply. During this drought, their allotments have nearly vanished.
Can you explain the agreement by which you get water to the farm?
We have a contract for X amount of water per acre here. They will allocate water to us, and so this year we got none.
So you got no water this year. So I would assume you have no crops this year. How are you able to grow water? Where are you getting your water when you're getting zero allotment?
We save water from one year to carry it into the next year. And today, like these almonds right here, are being irrigated with water that we saved from last year. If we didn't do that, we wouldn't have any water for these crops.
Regardless of how people feel about the solutions to this problem, we can't deny that there is a problem right now. If it's not solved, what happens?
This is where we get most of our fruits, nuts, and vegetables right here in the Central Valley. If this isn't solved, we will not be able to continue with these kind of crops, and we will eventually lose the farm.